Hi Flosstube, my name is Tiffany and this is Tiff Stitches. This is the second time I'm filming this because I filmed it on my iPad and there's nothing on my iPad and it keeps telling me that there is not enough storage, so I couldn't get it off my iPad. So I'm gonna film it again and hopefully it's as good as the first time because I was actually pretty impressed with myself. Like I said, my name is Tiffany and this is my first Flosstube video, and I'm gonna start and do the Know Your Needleworker tag just because I've really been diving into Flosstube and I've seen a lot of people do that, and I think that that is helpful to get to know me. I'm gonna try to get this done before the daylight runs out. Hopefully you guys can see me pretty well and y'all will be able to see all the detail and everything. So I'm gonna start with the Know Your Needleworker tag, and I'm gonna go through this and then I'll go through kind of finishes, whips, haul, and then a little bit of plans for this next week. I do plan on posting once a week, probably on Sundays. So yeah, anyways, let's jump into it. The first question is, where do you live? So I live in Spring, Texas, which is a kind of a suburb of Houston, I guess. And what do you do for a living? So I do two things. The first thing is my career, which I work Monday through Friday, and that is global logistics. I work for what's called a forwarder or logistics company. And I work on a major oil and gas account. I've worked on that account for 5 years, and I ship freight all over the world for them. So that is what I do Monday through Friday. I love it. It is always a challenge. It's always something new. Every day I go in, I don't know what to expect, and I love that. I'm not one of those people who can do the same thing every day. And by the way, don't mind this mess. On my iPad, I didn't have this in the shot, but on my iPhone, I do, so I guess I could zoom you in, but too late. You already saw it. And then the second thing that I do is I actually own an Etsy shop. And I do have another YouTube channel that I utilize for that shop. But I make planner stickers. And I've done that for about 1.5 years now. And yeah, I mean, I design them and sell them. And that's kind of what led me, in a roundabout way, led me to Flosstube. And I'll explain that a little bit later. Do you have any children? I do. I have a 3-year-old son. His name is Carter. He's with his dad right now. Otherwise, I would totally make him come on camera and say hi to you guys. He has a huge personality and he loves being on camera. So I videotape him a lot. So he would totally do it. But he's not here today. Next week, I will have him on Sunday. So maybe you'll see him then. Do you have any pets? I do. And just kind of sort of adopted a new one. I rescued a dog last night. I was up late. I had gone to go to Walgreens and grab some things, and I was driving home, and there was this husky running down the middle of a very busy road. And I pulled over, and she jumped in my car, and she's super affectionate. She's a puppy, so she already broke the fence in my backyard. So I'm trying to find her owners. I went and got her checked. She's not microchipped. I'll put a picture over here. She's beautiful. So yeah, but I have 2 other dogs that I've had. My boy dog, he is 10 years old. I've had him since he was a puppy. His name is Chevy, and then he's a Yorkie. And I have another Yorkie who is a girl, and she's 7 years old, and her name is Mia. What are your other hobbies besides stitching? So as I mentioned, the Etsy shop, planning. I'm been in the planning community for a while. I really enjoy that. And so I guess that's a hobby, designing the planner stickers, using planner stickers. I don't use them as much. It's funny, ever since I started my shop, I actually don't use them as much as I used to. But yeah, that's a hobby. I do know how to knit. I don't have the scarf that I've finished. I probably finished it about 5 years ago. I could go grab it. I guess I could show you guys in this video. I know where it's at. But I do know how to knit. I do not knit actively right now in my life, but I do know how. Actually, a dear friend taught me how to knit, and she just recently passed away from cancer. So that's a really sad story. But knitting will always kind of have like that place in my heart because she taught me how to do it. So let me go get the scarf. I'll show you. I'll go grab it and I'll be right back. Okay. So this is my scarf that I knit. You can see, and then I did some not specialty knitting, but you know, kind of switch it up a little bit down here. And then have the little tassels. There's hair. Sorry, I do use this scarf. It's very, very warm. It's a wool blend. I don't know. Don't even ask me. She actually gifted me this yarn when she was teaching me how to knit. I do have some other yarn. I do have a yarn stash. I planned on starting more projects for people in my family and things like that, but that didn't happen. Well, I started them, but I never worked on them and finished them. So this is the only one I finished, and I love it. It's super comfy. It's super warm. I live in Texas, so I don't need it for very many days. This year it did get pretty cold, but yeah, I have my little notebook I'm reading this out of. Other hobbies. I like to read. I'm just a very creative person. I just like to have a creative outlet, so that's the main thing. And I'll talk more about that when I start talking like how I got back into cross stitching. Okay, what is your favorite movie? So I don't watch very many movies. Since I had my son, it's just not a priority. I used to live down the street from a theater, and I'd walk there and I saw a lot of movies. But I do have 2 movies this year that kind of stick out. I did see, one of them is a lifetime favorite movie. It's top 10, easy, of any movie I've ever seen in my life. And that is The Greatest Showman. I love it. It is a phenomenal movie. If you have not seen it, you should see it. I own the soundtrack. I listen to the soundtrack all the time, and I just love it. I grew up, a little bit about my background, I grew up in musical theater. So I'm a huge fan of Broadway. I go to Broadway Across America plays. One of my best friends has season tickets, so whenever he doesn't have a date, I get to go. And I get to see a lot of plays that way, and I love it. So The Greatest Showman, like, it spoke to my soul. And I loved every minute of it. So I highly recommend that movie. The other movie I saw this year that I really loved was The Big Sick. So I recommend that one as well. It was cutesy. I'm a huge rom-com fan. Those are, like, if I think back to some of my favorite movies, just those, you know, common rom-coms back in the day, like early 2000s, late 90s. But, like, what happened to those movies? Like, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, like, that kind of thing. I loved those, and I don't feel like they really exist much anymore. So, anyway, what is your favorite TV show? I do not watch very much television. I have a Fire Stick, and my son pretty much steals the TV from me all the time and watches his cartoons if the TV is on. So I don't watch much, but I would say This Is Us. I watched the entire first season. I have not caught up on the second season, but I love that show. So I like drama kind of thing. Is probably my favorite. What is your favorite book? So I used to be a diehard Nicholas Sparks fan. Diehard Nicholas Sparks fan. And I own all the books. I got rid of some of them recently because I'm out of that phase. But now I lean more towards YA contemporary is what I like to read. A little bit of fantasy here and there, but usually it's like a romantic fantasy, like it has like a romance aspect. But I just read a book recently. I got it from Overdrive from my library, so I don't have it to show you, but it's called The Hating Game. And I really liked it. It was super cute, and if you like kind of like that love to hate theme, then that one's a good one, so I would check that out. And I also just read Autobiography, which is about homosexual teen living in a very Mormon community, and it kind of explores that. I don't know. It's good. If that's your kind of thing, it's really good. I'm not going to get into all of that, but it was good. I'll just tell you, I went to school, I majored in in psychology with a focus on sex and relationship therapy, and my minor was gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender studies. So those kind of books really appeal to me. I like to learn about different environments and different sexualities and religion and how it ties into sexuality and all of that. But that's totally not what this channel is about. So anyway, that was a good one though, if you like that kind of book. What is your favorite music? My favorite music, I would have to say, is Texas country. I was born and raised in Texas, and yeah, I like Sam Riggs is one of my favorites, Cody Johnson, Eli Young Band. Those are some of my favorite ones. What one word best describes you? So this is the last question. When I filmed this the first time, I struggled with this question, and I kind of came up that the best word that describes me is kind of busybody. I'm not a person that likes to stay stagnant. I really like to stay busy, like to keep like my creative juices flowing. I just have a very creative soul, and I am a single mom, and I work a lot, and I get stressed. I mean, it happens to all of us, but I get very stressed. And I have found over the years that being creative is something that really helps to just relieve the stress in my life. And like, for instance, when I was pregnant, probably the most stressed out I've ever been in my life. And I did a whole scrapbook and I just scrapbooked every day. And it really helped me get through that time and to get through what I was going through. And so I just usually cling to some sort of a creative outlet when life gets hectic or stressful. And that is kind of how I stumbled upon Flosstube. Like I said, I have another YouTube channel and I have my business, and I was on Instagram, on my business's Instagram, and I was looking at some of my clients' posts, and one of my clients posted that she was doing diamond painting, and I'd never heard of a diamond painting, no clue, didn't have a clue what it was. So I started digging into it, and this was back around Christmas time, so just a couple weeks ago. I started digging into it, and I was like, man, that looks pretty cool. Like, that looks like a nifty thing to do, just to, you know, be creative. And so I bought one, and, you know, they take forever to get here, and I was like, okay, you know, whatever. Well, in the meantime, while I was waiting for it to ship, I was looking on YouTube for diamond painting, like, just to see what people had done. And I'm a big YouTube believer. I think it's awesome that we have this resource now in our day and age to go search and learn and all of those things. So I went and just searched diamond painting, and that led me to Flosstube because they are correlated. And I did not know Flosstube existed. So as I was like on YouTube and came across Flosstube, I started thinking about, well, what about cross stitch? I used to cross stitch. I actually learned how to cross stitch when I was like 10 or 12. My mom used to cross stitch all the time. And she taught me and my sister how to do it. And we, you know, we made some projects. I don't have them. I'm trying to look and see like if I'm losing light completely, but hopefully not. I don't have any of those projects. My mom might have some somewhere, but I was like, you know, I could probably get a cross stitch thing for pretty cheap, and I could work on that while I'm waiting on my diamond painting to come in. And so that's what got me back into cross stitch. And I was looking for a new creative outlet, and I kind of just went back to my roots and what I had learned when I was younger. And that's how we got here. So I'm excited to be here. I'm going to get into showing you my projects that I have. There's not very many. It won't take that long. But I hope you guys are enjoying. And hopefully you'll come back, and I'll keep coming back as long as you guys do. So yeah. Some of the Flosstubers, I just want to do a couple shout outs before I jump in, that got me to this point. Like I said, I'm not a stranger to YouTube. I do have another YouTube channel. Being in front of the camera is not anything new to me. So I thought, why not? If I'm going to be cross-stitching, why not be a part of this awesome community where I can share my work and, you know, get suggestions and learn, because I am new back in this world, and I know I could learn from you guys. So some of the people that I've been watching that really have me motivated to not only stitch more but film were Chelsea and Priscilla, the Real Housewives of Cross Stitch, the Night Owl Stitcher, Just Keep Stitching, Pam and Steph, love them, they're hilarious, love it. Bendy Stitchy, Michelle, I think that's her name. And I'm not going to name the whole list. I've been watching a lot of Flosstube, and I'm not going to name the whole list of them. But my neighbor's outside, and she's totally going to watch me film, but it's okay. So that's just a couple. I actually binge watched Chelsea and Priscilla's channel from the beginning the other night. Don't even get me lying to you. And they're the sole reason that I'm going to have haul next week. Well, not the sole reason, but they're a big part of it. I was watching until really late and just no inhibitions, bought all the patterns. So just look forward to that. But anyways, no further ado, I'm going to show you my finish. I have one. It's little. I'm counting it as a finish because it's a pattern finish. It's not a project finish because this is an ongoing project that's going to take me a while. but I did finish a portion of it, and I want to show you guys that. So let me grab it because I had everything back out of the way because I finished filming this and then realized I couldn't export it. So my first finish is, you just saw my whip on the same project, but that is Lizzie Kate's yearbook January. So that is my finish. I loved stitching this. I did stitch it with the called for weeks dye works threads. The only one is the white is DMC because number one, my LNS did not have whitewash from Weeks Dye Works, which is what it called for. So I just thought I could just use white DMC. So I did, and I love this, and I don't even know if you can see it very well because of the lighting, but hopefully you can. So that's my only finish, and I'm still working on this project. As you can see, it is quite a big piece of fabric. It's big. I do have all the patterns, and this is one of my whips. I did start on the February pattern. So that is what I have done on that, and I'm hoping to finish that this week, but I'll talk about that more in my plans section of my video. My neighbor's like gardening, and my window's open so that there's light, so she's probably like, what is she doing? Okay, another whip that I have is the first pattern that I purchased, and this is, okay, so I went on Etsy, and when I was like, oh, I want to cross stitch, and I actually bought, where did the pattern go? Here it is. I actually bought this pattern and a couple more patterns, which I'll show you in my haul because I haven't started those yet. And I am stitching this for my sister for her birthday. And I have a page finish on it. It is a 4-page pattern, but this is it. It is from Amazing Pattern Studio on Etsy, and it's called Heart, obviously. And that is what it's going to look like with the butterflies and everything. And this is my progress. Now, in my first video, I was watching it back before I realized I couldn't export it. And I realized, like, I should tell you. I'm very new to the cross-stitch world. And when I was starting this, I didn't understand what it meant to not travel your thread on the back of your project. And my mom saw what I was doing and she was like, no, you don't do that. And I was like, oh, well, it's too late now. So the first part that I stitched of this, granted, the back is so messy, and I have now changed my ways, and she kind of told me some tips that I had forgotten over the years. So when you look at this, you'll see through it, and you'll see like my threads in here. Ignore them, okay? Ignore them. There's gonna be white stitched all in here. It'll be okay. But this is my progress. This is the first page of the pattern till about like right here, and then this is all I've done on the second page of the pattern. I am stitching this for my sister for her birthday. Her birthday is February 26th, so I don't have a whole lot of time to finish this, but it does stitch up pretty fast. It's not too bad. It is a lot of color changes, but it's not too bad. I'm stitching it for her birthday. She is in the Navy, and she's a doctor, and she just found out in December that she is moving to Japan in July. And so I wanted to make her something that was, you know, from the heart and handmade so that she could think of home whenever she saw it. We're all going to miss her very much. We're proud of her, but we're going to miss her. So I'm hoping to have that finished and mailed to her because she lives in Jacksonville, Florida. Have that mailed to her before she moves, obviously. Well, for her birthday. So that is that whip. And then the next whip is Lizzie Kate's How to Be a Mean Mother. So it's kind of glare, sorry about that. But I was really excited because like I told you guys, I binged watched Chelsea and Priscilla's videos, and I realized that Chelsea, back in the day when they first started their channel, she finished this. And I had already bought it, and I was like, oh yay, I get to do something that she did. So I did kit this up with all of the Weeks Dye Works threads. I'm really enjoying working with the Fancy Floss, as it's called on Flosstube. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, sorry. I forgot to tell y'all, this is, this fabric, I have the tag over here, is 30 count Shays Straw R&R. I've never heard of this fabric before, and I've watched a lot of Flosstube in the past few weeks. It's 30 count, I'm stitching it 2/2. I forgot to tell you all that, but this is my first time stitching anything 2/2. So it was a learning curve. I got off on my border on my January, like half a stitch. I was off and I did it like 3 times. So I'm learning though. And then this project is stitched on 14 count Aida, and I hate it. I hate it. If I had to do it all over again, 0 chance I would use this, but it's too late now. So forgot to tell you all that. How to be a mean mother. I am stitching on lamb's wool witchel. And it's funny because right before I filmed this, I was watching Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World, and she was stitching something on lamb's wool witchel. She was talking about how stiff the fabric is, and I don't like it. It reminds me of my Aida fabric. Not a fan, because I do stitch in hand. I was trying a hoop, as you can tell on this one, but I didn't like that, so I tried the stitching in hand thing, and that went a lot better. So this is my progress on this. I am really enjoying it. It's stitching up pretty quickly. There's not too much work in that, not too many hours in that yet. I'm hoping to make some more progress on that this week, but that is my last whip that I am currently working on. Now, oh, no, I have one more whip. I forgot this in the last time I filmed it too. I have a diamond painting, and I wanted to show you guys because I feel like it's part of this world anyway. This is what the diamond painting is going to look like when it is completed, and this has been a really fun project. I really like it. My son actually helps me with it. We sit and we diamond paint, and he plays with this puzzle. He usually gets distracted pretty quickly. But this is my current progress. Everything that's covered in paper I have not worked on, but this is everything that I have worked on, and I like it a lot. It's starting to take form. You can really see the picture coming to life. And it's not taking too long. I probably have about maybe 4 or 6 hours of work in this. But I'm loving it. So that is my whip, my diamond painting whip. So, all right. So now I want to show you guys some haul that I have, and then talk about some plans, and then that'll be it. So I told you when I first started, I went to that amazing pattern studio, and I bought multiple patterns from there. She does, I think it's a woman that owns the shop. She designs these mandala animals, and I love all of them. And I have no clue what I'm going to do with them once I stitch them, but I just think they're so cute, and I'll figure something out. Maybe you guys will have some ideas, or you've seen some finishes with these that you can show me or lead me to. But this is the first one, and I actually have the threads for this one. This is the Mandala Panda, and I love purple. Purple is my favorite color, so this guy is adorable, and I'm really excited to stitch it. I think these all call for 14 count Aida, and I have learned my lesson, and that is not happening again. So what I think I want to do with this is I want to do it on maybe a cloudy, light gray hand-dyed fabric maybe. I think that would look pretty. I don't know. If you guys have any fabrics that you think would work well with this that you could recommend to me in the comments, that would be so helpful. Because I don't even know much about that, about fabrics. That's why I ended up with one super pliable fabric and one super stiff fabric, because I don't really know the difference. I'm still learning. And then the other mandala animals I got were this mandala lion, which is awesome. And then I also got the mandala elephant head with the lotus flower on top. So I'm looking forward to stitching those in the future eventually. And then the last pattern I got from the Awesome Pattern Studios is, it's a zodiac sign. And my idea for this, they actually have all of the zodiac signs on their site. And my idea for this is to actually stitch it 1/1 on a higher count fabric to make it smaller so that all of them are smaller. Because this is a almost 8 inch by 8 inch pattern. And I just don't want it that big, because if I'm going to do all of them, then I want to do them smaller. So that's what I'm thinking I might try. I don't know. It calls for this dark fabric, and I thought it was bright and colorful, and I'm a Scorpio, so I thought, why not? Okay, so that was all that I got off of Etsy that time. There's more haul in coming videos. You just wait. You just wait. It's not here yet, but you just wait. And then I was watching more Flosstube, of course, and was I need to look up my local LNS because I've never been to one and they probably have a lot of stuff. And so I actually looked it up, and there's a place here in Spring, Texas called 3 Stitches. Sweet, sweet, sweet ladies. I highly doubt they're watching this, but super sweet. Went in there, took my son. He was a handful, but got some more stuff. So that is where I got the Lizzie Kate stuff that I showed you that I'm working on. But I did get a few other patterns, whoops, that I haven't shown you yet. So I have to locate them first before I can show you. So as I told you, I did have like a whole bag of them. I did get all of the floss, the Weeks Dye Works floss from the LNS, and all of the Lizzie Kate yearbook patterns for the whole year. So I have them all. Whenever I get done with February, I can move on to March or, you know, whatever. So I got that for my project. And then, where are... they're missing. Where are they? Ah, here they are. Found them. I'm like, they're buried. I did get 2 other Lizzie Kate patterns while I was there. The first one I got is If You Live to Be 100. And the funny thing about this one is I am super single. Very, very single. But this is kind of like for my son more so. And it says, if you live to be 100, I want to live to be 100 minus 1 day so I never have to live a day without you. And then it also has a smaller chart that says sometimes the smallest things in life, or no, wait, I just added words to that. Sometimes the smallest things take up the most room in your heart. And that is so true because my son, he's small and he takes up lots of room in my heart. So can you guys see that, or is the glare too bad? Here, I'll take these out so you can actually see them. Not that you haven't seen them before because I'm so late to the Flosstube game, but just so you don't have the glare. That is that one. Super excited to stitch that eventually. And the leather one that I got is this one. And it is called She Believed She Could. And it says, everything changed the day she figured out there was exactly enough time for the important things in life. And then the other pattern down here, the smaller pattern, says she believed she could, so she did. And I love that. I'm actually in the process of saving and getting everything financially ready for buying a house towards the end of this year. That is my goal. So I want to make these things for my home once I have it. And yeah, that's why I got these. I think they'll look cute as home decor. So that, besides the fact that I got all of the DMC for my Mandala Panda Bear, that is all of the haul that I have today. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about is just my plans. So kind of my plan for this coming week, because I do hope to have a video up every Sunday like I stated, is I want to finish Lizzie Kate's February. That I have not very much left of the pattern. I don't think I showed you guys, but I have, show you. So on the February pattern, as you saw, I have the flowers done, I have the heart, I have these 2 little blue guys done. So all I have left is this, and then the rest of the border. So I don't have that much. I think I should be able to get that finished this week. So that is one part of my plans. I'm hoping to show you guys that I finish that next week. The next part is to get the second page of my heart done. So the first page was this top corner, and then the bottom page is the bottom corner. And so I want to get that bottom corner finished by next week. So that is another plan. And then the last plan would just be to make some more progress on how to be a mean mother. I feel like maybe I could get a couple more lines done at least. So that's kind of the plan. So that is everything. I hope you guys enjoyed getting to know me a little bit, seeing what I'm working on. I'm really excited to be a part of this community. I have loved watching all of your videos, and I can't wait to watch more. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments below. I'll do a question section in my next video if I have any. I kind of want to structure this kind of like Chelsea and Priscilla do, because I think that it's really efficient. And have kind of the question and answer in the beginning and then move on. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. If you did enjoy this video, I hope that you'll subscribe. I hope that you'll come back. And if you do, I'll keep making videos. So anyways, it's nice to meet all of you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.